This is Plant-Based Briefing, Cultured Meat for Pet Food, Game Changer, by Paul Benton at unchainedtv.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast for people short on time but curious about healthy, compassionate, and sustainable living. I research a variety of topics, get permission, and narrate posts in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. Today's post is from Unchained TV, formerly Janeunchained, which is a nonprofit media organization focusing on animal rights, the plant-based, cruelty-free lifestyle, climate change, food justice, health, and associated issues like human world hunger and workers' rights. It was founded by Jane Velez Mitchell, nationally known TV journalist and best-selling author. For 6 years, she hosted her own show on CNN Headline News, where she ran a weekly segment on animal issues. Unchained TV has a free vegan TV app and streaming service, the only streaming service featuring the New Day New Chef cooking show and hundreds of other vegan originals, documentaries, specials, and plant-based programming for free. You can visit unchainedtv.com or download the app. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Cultured Meat for Pet Food, Game Changer, by Paul Benton at unchainedtv.com. Cultured meat for pet food could save billions of animals' lives. A high-tech pet food company is about to launch a lab-based mice treat for cats. The mice are alive and well, by the way. Read on to learn how and why. Cultured meat may not be technically vegan, but the budding technology does have the potential to massively reduce animal suffering. If all the dogs and cats in America were classed as a country, a new study estimates that country would be the 5th biggest meat-eating nation. That's how game-changing cell-based pet food is. And dogs are not even strict carnivores. They are natural omnivores, opportunistic eaters. A growing body of evidence suggests they are capable of living healthy lives on a plant-based diet. Indeed, there are a growing number of plant-based dog food brands. Wild Earth vegan pet food gained national fame after being featured on Shark Tank, where Mark Cuban announced he was jumping in as an investor. Bramble, a vegan dog food delivery service, is profiled, linked here. But most Americans who have dogs and cats still insist on feeding their companion animals other animals. Many veterinarians also push a meat-based diet. And of course, the traditional dog food brands campaign heavily to condition people to feed their dogs and cats meat to ensure their own profit. Enter becauseanimals, a new company making cell-based pet food. becauseanimals is a small company with a big mission to make the most sustainable and nutritious food for dogs and cats on the planet without ever harming any animals or the environment. The company is producing nutritionally complete vegan dog food, but for those who do not wish to feed their dogs a plant-based diet, they are developing a cultured meat product. What exactly is cultured meat? Quote, "We are also the only pet company making cultured meat for your cats and dogs. Cultured meat is identical to traditional meat. It's 100% meat. The only difference is our animal cells grow inside a vat like beer instead of inside an animal," unquote. Shannon Falconer, Ph.D., becauseanimals CEO. becauseanimals has produced a video to answer the question, what is cured meat? And you can watch the video linked here. Shannon comments, "It is meat, but previously we haven't been in a position to create meat without killing another animal. We are now in a position to do that." The company states that they grow the clean meat from humanely harvested animal cells. They then feed those cells a mixture of proteins, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. In the case of the lab-grown cat treat product, the animals used are mice, rescued from a lab. Shannon points out that much commercial pet food for cats are of bovine or poultry origin. These are also a cat's main allergens. Cats in the wild have evolved to eat mice, small birds, and insects. So, from an evolutionary perspective, she believes cultured meat, based around mice, is a more natural diet for cats. Shannon points out the mice used in harvesting these cells were rescued from a research lab and are now living comfortably and safely. These mice are currently 2 years old, which is a good age for mice. becauseanimals is looking at a very limited batch release of cultured cat meat in 2022. The nutritionally complete food will become available sometime after that. It's not vegan, but some vegans may find this controversial, but lab meat is undeniably creating pet food that doesn't involve slaughtering animals. It has the potential to massively reduce animal suffering and death, and the technology is attracting big investors. Orkla, a European food conglomerate, just announced it is investing in becauseanimals. They've done this in a bid to take the lead in alternative proteins. Ellen Lidman, the recently appointed CEO of Orkla Alternative Proteins, said, quote, "As a company deeply committed to health and sustainability, we see cultured meat as having interesting potential in terms of sustainability, animal welfare, and food safety. Becauseanimals' product and technology stand out as a sustainable, healthy, humane way to feed pets. Their progress in developing cell lines, growth media, and driving down cost is impressive, all vital steps in bringing cultured meat technology to market." Becauseanimals is Orkla's first ever investment in pet food and the first move by its recently announced Orkla Alternative Proteins division, an umbrella for emerging food technology brands. Sustainable business. Shannon explains why the investment is such good news. Partnering with a major international food player like Orkla is exactly what we sought to do from the beginning. We were not interested in just any corporate food heavyweight. We needed them to be firm believers in sustainability and the future of food, and we found exactly that combination in Orkla. Ethical evolution. Shannon and Joshua Arrett, MBA, co-founded becauseanimals. Joshua and Shannon both volunteered at the same cat rescue charity. In 2019, the company announced success in creating the world's first cultured meat pet food made from cultured mouse tissue, the ancestral diet of the cat. Cultured meat's advantages. Proponents of cultured meat say it is safe and healthy for pets without any of the negative impacts associated with factory-farmed meat. In the United States, more than a quarter of the environmental impacts from the animal agriculture industry are directly attributable to meat consumption by pets. In addition to reducing environmental harm, cultured meat requires no animal to be raised inhumanely for slaughter. Cultured meat proponents say the clean meat poses no risk to pets and public health through bacterial contamination, antibiotic resistance, or zoonotic diseases such as COVID-19. Is ethical expensive? Shannon says becauseanimals aims to compete price-wise with the animal-based meat products in the pet food market. She points out that they have no interest in being a niche company and want their products to be as affordable as possible. Jane Velez-Mitchell interviewed Shannon Falconer, Ph.D., CEO of becauseanimals, and you can watch the full interview linked here. You just listened to Cultured Meat for Pet Food, Game Changer, by Paul Benton at unchainedtv.com. And as always, I have a link to the original post in the show notes where you can watch the full interview. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of Plant-Based Briefing. And we have 2 dogs and a cat, and I am eagerly awaiting the release of this cultured cat food. And you can subscribe at becauseanimals.com and get email updates and be the first to know when it's readily available. Please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and please take a second to rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and/or Amazon, Audible, or Amazon Music. Thanks very much, and thanks for listening.